The Raptors fall to the Chicago Bulls 122-106 as their 5-game winning streak is snapped. Immanuel Quickley made his return. He was on minutes restriction, but the Raptors unable to get the win as they now fall to 0-5 with their regular starters starting and 1-9 with Immanuel Quickley in the starting lineup. In this one, I'm going to talk about this game. Do me a solid, guys. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. So it appears the Raptors tank is back. And I think it was pretty evident while watching this game to make that assumption. Because not only was the Raptors' effort level very poor, the worst it's been in the last couple of weeks, they flat out did not play good in this one. I mean, their defense was good in that first half, but it fell apart, I would say, in the second half, especially in that third. They just did not have that same focus, it seemed, as the Bulls made their run, and it was all Chicago in that second half. Something happened in this game that was basically a dead giveaway of the Raptors tanking, and maybe something brewing behind the scenes. And that is that the Raptors did not play Kelly Olynyk or Chris Boucher a single minute. And both players have been playing well as of late. Most notably, Chris Boucher, who has been arguably this team's most impactful player, one of their best players, just for what he provided this team from off the bench and the spark he gave that second unit. And Boucher did not play. And after the game, Darko said on Olynyk and Boucher not playing, Chris was available, was playing amazing. He's ultimate professional. Says with Quickley back and wanting to give Walter more minutes and Robinson minutes, it squeezed Olynyk out. So let's just remove Olynyk from the equation. But Chris Boucher was fully healthy, and the Raptors did not play him in this game. And just to tell you how much of an impactful player Boucher has been for the Raptors, Josh Lundberg put this out, which basically captivates Boucher's impact, saying Raptors in Boucher's last 11 games, 446 to 325 advantage in bench scoring, plus 121, 30 plus bench points in all 11, 40.5 per. Outscored opposing bench in 10, 7-4 record. Raps and Boucher's last 3 DNP CDs, which is did not play coach decisions. Bench outscored 156 to 74. That's minus 82. 24.7 bench points per bench outscored in all 3, 0-3 record. By the Raptors not playing Boucher, that is as dead of a giveaway to suggest that the Raptors are full-fledged back into this tank. And they might indeed have potential deals to look at for Boucher working behind the scenes. And then besides that, I think it's also just a glimpse of how this team is ultimately going to look for the second part of the season if and when you trade Boucher, Olynyk, and even Bruce Brown. And we see it, right? Like, whenever you strip away your depth, and in this case, your bench, it's hard to win games. And I know people are going to say, oh, like, the Raptors lost again with IQ. And I said it before. I mean, I thought IQ was in a tough position because if this team continues to lose and doesn't win with him back, the narrative's going to go against IQ. But IQ played well. 14 points, 5 for 8, 15 minutes of action. He was very, very effective. Scotty Barnes had 20, 10, and 5. Barrett had 19 and 9. Grady Dick had 13. But when you don't have that bench come through, it's tough to win games. And I know Jacoby Walter had 14 points in 18 minutes, and Mitchell, he did have 9, but the bench attack just didn't have the same feel. Bruce Brown actually struggled, did not register a point. The bench attack did not have the same feel without Boucher. So this to me was a clear indication that the Raptors are tanking by not playing Boucher especially. And this is probably something to monitor, as we get closer to the trade deadline. What's going to happen with Boucher's playing time, Olynyk's playing time, even Bruce Brown's playing time over the next few games until the deadline. I think the Raptors play 3 more times before the deadline. So that's something to monitor if Boucher's another DNP CD. The same with Olynyk. If, like I said, Bruce Brown gets one of these, that's a dead giveaway that the Raptors are tanking, and they're trying to work on deals for these guys behind the scenes. So you don't want to risk, getting them hurt or anything of that nature. But yeah, I mean, we saw the massive difference, right? The Raptors didn't have that bench attack. They didn't have Boucher's presence out there, and it just shows you how valuable Boucher has been to this team directly, just from an offensive perspective, giving this team that boost, that energy. And he did not play. And to little surprise, the Raptors did not win this game. It wasn't even close. So it's something to monitor, guys. Especially considering that both were available, like just clean scratches. That should very much be the tell here. The Raptors, they're back in the tank. It appears so. And Masai must have saw that 5-game winning streak and decided enough is enough. We got to pull some strings, and we got to make sure these guys don't play while we try to make some deals for them. And we'll see who ends up going, who ends up staying, if there's something in the woodworks. But, of course, the likeliest trade candidates on this team from basically the start of the season have been, Boucher, followed by Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk. I would put those 3 as the trade candidates, the likeliest trade candidates on this team ahead of the February 6th trade deadline. So we're not going to get into all the rumors about BI and even De'Aaron Fox. The Raptors have registered interest in him, according to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. But I don't think a big trade's going to happen. But we could see the Raptors move off from those players, potentially in a larger deal that they help execute, or maybe they find a deal straight up for a Chris Boucher. So we'll see what happens, guys. But let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That's it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.